taking a step back from the tariffs themselves and kind of looking at the meta situation, kind of the news creation or the punditry around the tariff stuff, man, it has been very difficult for me personally to navigate this current market because the people that I have followed and I respect and I pay attention to for the past couple weeks have had their opinions diverge kind of significantly, and it makes it so much harder to know what I think about this current market and where it's going when pretty much everyone I follow has a fairly differing view from the other people that I follow, right? So then there's very little consensus. And so you get this kind of like, and it's not just that they're divided on one issue, like tariffs good or tariffs bad. The people who maybe think that tariffs are good, like that camp, then they'll also disagree pretty substantially on a sub issue that comes out of that. For example, you have people who think tariffs are good. You have people who think tariffs are bad. So let's take those people who think that tariffs are bad. Within that group, you have people who think, oh, this will cause U.S. assets to fail and fall. However, Bitcoin will succeed, right? But others think that no, Bitcoin will also fall, right? So then that puts another big difference between these people. Then within the people who think, oh, Bitcoin is going to succeed, however, you have these subgroups that are like, yes, Bitcoin is going to succeed and China is going to do really well from this. So buy Chinese equities or be bullish on China. And then some people who also think Bitcoin is going to succeed are like, no, China's also going to do very poorly to this. So I don't know. I found myself kind of very unsure for the first time in quite a while. I don't know if you've had that experience, Graham.
It's I would say in some ways inevitable, given that like how big of a sea change this is, right? We're talking about a potential reordering of the entire global financial system, a la a new Bretton Woods, like the new like the Mar-a-Lago Accords, and there's a million permutations for how that could go. So I don't think it's surprising that the experts disagree, and within the different permutations, right? There's like so many, yeah, as you've described, a binary tree. It breaks down, and there's so many different pathways that we could go. So let's in some simulated multiverse, things will work out exactly as we hope. So let's make sure that we get into that dimension.
Yeah. So we just on this kind of related to this topic, we had a question talking about BRICS and saying like, do you see India stepping away from BRICS and staying with dollars? Staying with dollars is bearish for Bitcoin. I personally think that BRICS is kind of a sham to begin with, and I don't think that the BRICS nations like each other very much. And I think if you look at like the euro has been, I think, somewhat, it's not a failure, but it hasn't been what everyone thought it would be, this like kind of competitor to the dollar, right? And the European Union is made up of contiguous countries, right, that have more of a shared history than these disparate BRICS countries who actually actively hate each other. So what hope really is there of a BRICS currency ever being truly successful if you have something like the euro really not be able to do that? So I see it as kind of like a, I don't know, some kind of dream that the BRICS would ever be successful.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there. However, I do think there's an element of the friend of my enemy is my enemy, and the enemy of my friend is my. How does that go? It's something like that, right? So, even though these BRICS nations aren't exactly best friends, if they have a reason to work together on something, it's more likely to succeed. And it may not succeed massively, but as it relates to Bitcoin, the more you get this multipolar world or perception of a multipolar world, the more it makes sense for an asset like Bitcoin to actually be adopted and used, whether it's as a safe haven or actually used as a medium of exchange in cross-border trade.